Hello and welcome to yet another session, the Entrepreneurial Development Perspective. In this session, we are going to discuss the concept of entrepreneurship, its development and evolution, and comparison with related concepts like intrapreneur, entrepreneur, manager, and the attributes of successful entrepreneur. It is rightly said that entrepreneurship is the cause for an effect of an economy. Thus, entrepreneurship development has to be concentrated first in developing countries. It is rightly said by Rahul Bajaj, who is Chairman and Managing Director of Bajaj Auto, if we could have an entrepreneur in every family, India's economy would skyrocket. We would then be able to take our rightful place as an economic superpower in the community of nations. Entrepreneurs create jobs, they create wealth, they create products and services. Entrepreneur generates economic growth of an economy as an agent who is playing a key role in the economic development of a country. Each country desires a steady and sustainable growth in the income as well as the welfare. This growth is basically dependent on its entrepreneurs who run the business firms. They generate income and employment opportunities to remain in an economy. According to Khanka, the meaning of an entrepreneur is: an entrepreneur is an individual with knowledge, skills, initiative, drive and spirit of innovation who aims at achieving goals. An entrepreneur identifies opportunity and seizes opportunity for economic benefits. Entrepreneurship is a dynamic activity which helps the entrepreneur to bring changes in the process of production, innovation in production, new usage of materials, creator of market, etc. It is a mental attitude to foresee risk and uncertainty with a view to achieve certain strong motive. It also means doing something in a new and effective manner. According to America Heritage Dictionary, entrepreneur is a person who organizes, operates and assumes the risk for business venture. The Dictionary of Social Science has defined entrepreneur from functional viewpoint. According to it, entrepreneur is a person who does the following things: who exercises the function of initiating, coordinating, controlling or institute major change in a business enterprise, or bearing those risks of operation which arise from the dynamic nature of society and imperfect knowledge of the future which can cast through transfer, calculation or elimination. Our next topic is the concept of entrepreneurship development. Traditionally, entrepreneurship has been defined as a process of new startup business by introducing new technique. It is one kind of ability and willingness to grow and develop a firm with risks and innovations in order to earn profit. We can understand this term simply through different perspectives. According to Nathaniel Leff, entrepreneurship is the capacity for innovation, investment, and expansion in new markets, product and technique. Thus, entrepreneurship is an ability of risk taking and organizing financial business enterprise. Schumpeter describes entrepreneurship as the force of creative destruction, whereby established way of doing things are destroyed by creating a new and better ways of getting things done. According to Khanka, entrepreneurship is a process involving various actions to be taken to establish an enterprise. if we observe from the operational point of view, then entrepreneurship can be defined as the mixture of activities such as insight of market opportunities, gaining command over scarce resources, obtaining inputs, producing and marketing of product, responding to competition and maintaining relations with political, administration and public bureaucracy for concessions, licenses and taxes, etc. Thus, entrepreneur can be considered as an innovator who brings out new techniques to earn maximum profit, an organizer who organizes all factors of production, a manager who manages the productivity level with scarce resources available to them and tries to earn maximum profit. It is very interesting to know the evolution of the concept of entrepreneur. The term entrepreneur is taken from the French word entreprendre, which means to launch a startup or any venture or business firm. The term entrepreneur has been in use for the last 5 centuries, but the meaning of entrepreneur is chronologically varying. The table that you see showcases evolution and development of the term entrepreneur. But in simple way, entrepreneur can be considered as a risk bearer and an organizer or a co-coordinator who manages scarce resources with the maximization of profit by applying innovation technology. Now, it is necessary to know the interrelationship between entrepreneur and intrapreneur, entrepreneur and entrepreneurship, entrepreneur and manager. Let us look at the two terms entrepreneur and intrapreneur. The term entrepreneur and intrapreneur seem to be similar, but both of them have different features. The difference between them can be understood by having a look at the table. Let us see who is an entrepreneur and what is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur and entrepreneurship, both terms seem identical, but there is a minor conceptual difference line between them. According to Kanka, the term entrepreneur is often used interchangeably with entrepreneurship, yet they are conceptually different. Though entrepreneur is an individual entity who performs or acts or functions his qualities to run business, which is termed as entrepreneurship. Thus, Khanka says entrepreneurship is concerned with the performance and coordination of the entrepreneurial function. Then, this also means that entrepreneur precedes entrepreneurship. The relation between the two is just like the two sides of the same coin. It is clearly depicted in the table that you see at entrepreneur and manager. In the conceptual terms, entrepreneur and manager, words seem as synonyms. However, from a manager. As it is rightly said by Khanka, that an entrepreneur can be a manager, but a manager cannot be an entrepreneur, because an entrepreneur is an owner and a manager is a worker. Now let us end our discussion with attributes and characteristics of a successful entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a capable person who manages new venture with upgrading technology and risk. Entrepreneur is considered as an owner of the business firm. He is the only risk bearer, where the manager introduces innovation, forecast thinking, skills and knowledge for optimistic approach and focusing on growth of firm and profit level, etc. These are the basic attributes of an entrepreneur who wants to be successful. The branch characteristics of a tree named as an entrepreneur can be easily understood by the figure that you see. McClelland classified these characteristics of an entrepreneur in his book Achieving Society as an unusual creativeness, a propensity of risk-taking, a strong need for achievement. Another illustration from 50 research studies revealed by Timmons and Spinelli states that successful entrepreneurial attributes are total commitment, determination and perseverance, drive to achieve and grow, opportunity and goal orientation, taking initiatives and personal responsibility, persistent problem solving, realism and a sense of humor, seeking and using feedback, internal locus of control, calculated risk taking and risk seeking, low need for status and power, and integrity and reliability. Now we shall discuss the attributes and characteristics of a successful entrepreneur in detail. The first one is being a risk taker and a risk bearer. Being a risk taker, an entrepreneur takes risk regarding production, innovation or any strong decision dealing with the present situation without having fear. If any worse situation or loss is happening, then also he should have a capacity to bear it and be able to stand up once again independently. Thus, an entrepreneur should be a risk taker and bearer as well. The second being enthusiasm for work. Efficient working capability and enthusiasm of an entrepreneur can lead a venture to the successful path. Enthusiasm in entrepreneur encourages other workers of the firm to produce more, which leads to a higher profit level. An entrepreneur should work hard and endlessly from the starting point of the business and still have to continue even after success of a business. Thus, this is a second attribute of a successful entrepreneur. The next is desire for high goals. An entrepreneur has always a desire for a high goal or objective for his or her business, which motivates or encourages him to work hard with strength. According to McClelland, the entrepreneurs have a strong desire to achieve high goals in business. The motive of high achievement strengthens an entrepreneur to surmount the obstacles, suppress anxieties, repair misfortunes, and devise expedients and set up and run a successful business. Another attribute is being highly optimistic. According to Kanka, the successful entrepreneurs have a positive approach towards things. They do not get disturbed by the present problems faced by them. They become optimistic for future that the situations will become favorable to business in future. Another key attribute is being non-dependent. Non-dependency is one of the significant attributes of a successful entrepreneur because they do not like to be guided by any other or to follow anyone else's rules and regulations. They make decisions on their own. According to Kanka, they resist to be pigeonholed. Future foresight is utmost essential. A successful entrepreneur has to make a strategy for future by using his foresight. An entrepreneur can envisage the likely changes going to be taken in the market, consumers' taste and preference, changes in technological pattern, etc., which is a key to a successful entrepreneur. An entrepreneur must definitely be creative and innovative. As we know that there is a change in the consumption pattern with the change in time, and the producers have to produce in accordance of that new demand. So, a successful entrepreneur has to move on with the new demand through implementation of innovative and creative ideas. A builder of team spirit. Henry Ford's apt view seems worth quoting here. Bringing people together is beginning, keeping people together is progress, and working with people is success. Thus, this statement expressed one fact that the successful entrepreneur is a builder of a team. Last but not the least, a successful entrepreneur must be a good organizer. Kanka has rightly said, various resources required for production are owned by different owners. Then, it is the ability of the entrepreneur who brings together all required resources for setting up of an enterprise and then produces goods. Let us summarize our session now. Different researchers have defined entrepreneur in their own ways. From these definitions, it can be precisely said that an entrepreneur is a risk taker who manages and organizes scarce resources in such a way as to maximize profit and growth of a business firm. By differentiating an entrepreneur and entrepreneurship, it is clear that an entrepreneur is only a person, but an entrepreneurship is concerned with the process. By distinguishing between an entrepreneur and an intrapreneur, an entrepreneur and a manager, it is clear that intrapreneur and a manager work as employees in a business firm or venture, whereas an entrepreneur is an owner. As for being a successful owner of a venture, basic needed attributes and characteristics are risk-bearing, good organizing, innovation and optimism, and so on. Then only an entrepreneur can run efficiently their business with success.